I got sunburnt horribly at a music video last week, and my skin is peeling, like not in bits, just as like a whole face, just peel. It's horrible.
You're ripping
So
off
I'll
ripping
keep
off your
distance.
winter mask, ripping off your COVID mask, and going to
Exactly.
your plain face again. I like this. How are you feeling with an EP on the horizon?
Excited. I've had these songs for a while, so I just kind of want to get them out and let other people hear them finally. Yeah, but I'm excited. It's obviously a strange time, unprecedented times, as people
Unprecedented
say.
times, these
We'll
strange COVID
try not
times.
try not to repeat ourselves too many times in this conversation. But yeah, look, it's exciting. It's super exciting. I'm really proud of the body of work, and it represents a lot of where I'm at right now. And I feel like there's a little bit of everything in the EP. There's some slow groovers, and there's some up tempo stuff. There's um, some love songs and some not love songs. So yeah, I'm really proud of it.
Okay, that's exactly the vibe I got listening to the EP, that there was that kind of range of stuff. The one thing that does stand out to me across the whole record, though, even on the soppier moments, is you are quite self-deprecating about yourself as a partner and as a lover. Would I be right in thinking that?
Yeah, not because I think I'm a bad partner, but just because I'm naturally self-deprecating. So even stuff that I don't think is like, I mean, you have to ask my partner Penny what she thinks, I guess, but I don't think I'm a bad partner.
No.
But yeah, I'm just naturally self-deprecating about myself and who I am and what I do. I'm trying to improve on that.
Yeah, where do
But
you think that comes from?
yeah,
Where do you think it stems from? That's natural self-deprecation.
there's a perfectionism in my whole family where we're just like ultra hyper idealists. We've got this like super high bar for everything, and we won't do anything until it's like that level. And I was talking to my older brother about it yesterday or the other day, and just talking about how insane that is growing up to have that, as kids and as teenagers, to have that expectation to be perfect all the time. Like it's damaging. But I think I myself and the rest of my siblings are slowly getting over that, which is nice.
What helps you get over that? Is it constantly talking about yourself in music and constantly being sort of self-aware and constantly having to question how your brain works? Is that kind of how you work through things like that?
Yeah, I think for me it's just been accepting that there's no such thing as perfection, and I'll never reach perfection, and whatever I do in my music is a snapshot of that period of time. And if things were different in that period of time, I would have made different music, and I'd be making different music now. So I think that's the cool thing about music, is that you're literally taking a Polaroid of that thing, that experience that only you had, and you had your own perspective of that experience. And like, that's so unique. And it's cool that you can put that and you can record that in a session and then send it out to other people, and then come back to listen to it in 10 years and be like, oh, that was like a screenshot of that time. Like, that's the coolest thing about songwriting for me.
Totally. It's interesting you say you view this music as being kind of snapshots and, looking at these things as being a moment in time, because I remember when Zane Lowe first played Slow, and I remember Jeremy Deegan, who works on that show, referred to Slow as being timeless. And that all kind of very quickly summed up to me what is so special about your songwriting. Yes, it's you. Yes, it's got lots of personality in it. Like, yes, it's got lots of, I don't want to say attitude, but it's got a you factor to it. But I feel like there is a timelessness to it. But so I wonder how the two can coexist. I wonder how, is it a case of snapshotting something very specific in your life, but then through the writing process and through the session, creating something that is timeless? Is that kind of how you try and work through these songs?
Yeah, I think maybe when I say that, I mean specifically the story. Like, I wrote Slow about something that happened, and I know that even if that exact same thing happened now, I probably would write it a bit differently. And it just happens that it turned out that way, you know, like there's
Yeah.
no way of controlling that. And that's the seriously frightening thing about writing music is you can't control those sparks and those like instances where it just comes to you. And, you know, you've got to be grinding every single day to get those. They don't just land in your lap mysteriously. You've got to be working really hard. But yeah, it's hard to conjure those moments of just like, you know, it just happening. But yeah, I think for me, like the timeless comment is such a compliment, because I would love to write music that you can listen to in 10 years and it still feels like a song rather than just capturing a trend or something like that. But who knows if I've accomplished that or if I ever will, but it would be nice. But yeah, I think for the specific snapshot thing is about the stories and even about the small production decisions, like why I chose that snare, or like why I chose to like put it on acoustic guitar. Like those are all such like seemingly unimportant decisions. But I know if I went back into the session when I was planning my live shows and was like, man, I wouldn't do any of the, like, I wouldn't do like half of these production decisions if I was producing it now. I'd have been like, no, I don't like that, don't like that, don't like that. So yeah, it's so distinctive for that period of time.
That totally makes sense, and that totally sums up that concept. Your fans have had to be quite patient with the Hauskey material so far. I mean, we had Slow, and luckily it was such a good song that we could kind of sit with it for like 6 months and just like allow that to be our sort of Hauskey moment. And now we have Somewhere, and now we have another 4 songs to add to that. Do you have a favorite of the ones that folks haven't heard yet? Do you have one you're most excited to get that reaction from people on?
I'm most keen to hear how people perceive the body of work mostly, but just as an entire, you know, start to finish, like getting every minute of the project. But You and Me was one of the first tracks I wrote that I was like, this is like where I want to head sonically. So that one's, I'm really excited about people hearing that one. Silver Lining will always be one of my favorites. Like it's one of those songs that for me just captures a setting and a mood and a vibe. And as soon as I hear that first synth line, I'm just like, cool, I'm there. I'm exactly where I wanted to put the listener when I was making the song. And it's a very emotional song for me as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Not Good is one of those, just like, I love the meaning of the song, but it's got a cool bass line, and sometimes that's all it takes for me to be like, this song is great just because of the bass. I fucking love that. Sorry, can I swear?
Yes.
Is that all right?
Fuck
Yeah,
yes,
cool.
you can.
I just fucking love that bass line so much.
Yeah.
So much.
You know what? I'm going to go back and listen just to the bass line now, because I want to feel that feeling that you get when you hear that.
As soon as I wrote that bass line, I was like, yes.
I've done the thing. The thing has been done well.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this. I just love that, you know, folks have really gotten to know you and gotten to love you over the last few months. And now we get a full body of work to absorb. And, you know, the show that you did looked fucking amazing. And it looked, the headline one that you did with everyone singing along to Slow from the front to the back of the room. And I'm so excited for more people to get to see that over the next little while. Well done. You've done a bloody good job, my friend.
Thank you. It's it's a lot of hard work, and there's so much good music, not only in the world, but in the entire country of Australia right now, from Perth all the way to Melbourne and Queensland, Brisbane, Vegas. So it's you don't sometimes you don't feel like worthy in a way, because there's just so much good stuff out there. So when anyone offers any resemblance of like attention, it's it's a nice feeling.
Look, I think there's a benefit to the timelessness that we spoke about, in that if this music is meant to reach people, I think it will at some stage. And you could still be finding new fans of this particular body of work in a couple of years, because it does have that timeless, wonderful quality to it that actually evokes a physical human reaction, which is not an easy thing to do. And that takes hard work, as you mentioned. And good job on being a hard worker.
Did it evoke a human reaction in Unique?
Yes, it did. It's very human. It's very real.
Was it a bodily human reaction?
Yeah, it was like a little jolt of warmth going from song to tail. It did.
A jolt of warmth. We're putting that on the poster.
A jolt of warmth. Nick Kelly from the internet. Oh fuck!
That's
man.
That's all I need.
Exactly.
I'm gonna put that on my tombstone.
Eli's Andy Hopkins. A jolt of warmth. 5 stars.
It was short, but it was warm.
Goodbye, Hauskey. Have a lovely day.
Thanks, Nick. You too. Lovely to talk.